Hey guys, in this part we talk about try except in Python. The try block lets you test the block of code for errors, and the except block lets you handle the error, and the else block lets you execute code when there is no error, and the finally block lets you execute code regardless of the result of the try and except blocks. So exception handling. When an error occurs, or exception as well call it, Python will normally stop and generate an error message. These exceptions can be handled using the try statement. So, for example, I print the x and we don't have x, and we should have an error. Run, and we have an error in print x. And I use the try and except blocks in the try print x and except print an exception occurred. Save and run, and we have an exception occurred and the except block executed. Since the try block raises an error, the except block will be executed. Without the try block, the program will crash and raise an error. And many exceptions. You can define as many exception blocks as you want. If you want to execute a special block of code for a special kind of error, you can print, for example, except and name error. Name error is a kind of error, and in the name error print variable x is not defined. Save and run, and variable x is not defined. And the else, you can use the else keyword to define a block of code to be executed if no errors were raised. So after the except else print nothing went wrong. Save and run, and variable x is not defined because we have an error. And if I remove the x and print hello, save and run, and we have hello and nothing went wrong. And the finally block is if specified will be executed regardless if the try block raised an error or not. So finally and print the try except is finished. Save and run, and we don't have an error and the try except is finished. And if we have an error in the try run and variable x is not defined and the try except is finished. And raise an exception. As a Python developer, you can choose to throw an exception if a condition occurs. To throw or raise an exception, use the raise keyword. So comment these codes and x equal to -1, and if x less than 0, raise an exception, and the message is sorry, no numbers below 0. Save and run, and we have an exception, and the message is sorry, no numbers below 0. And the raise keyword is used to raise an exception, and you can define what kind of error to raise, and the text to print the user to the user. So for example, comment and x equal to hello, and if not type of x is integer, raise and type error, the message is only integers are allowed. Save and run, and we have a type error and only integers are allowed.